Hey, this is Theo. I studied abroad in Athens, Greece in 2006 in the spring. I studied for 4 months up until May, and then I stayed an additional 2 months until the end of June, basically on my own. I guess we can start with questions.
Okay. Well, I'm Sally, and a few questions we have are, what were the living arrangements like where you were staying?
With Arcadia, the way they have it is you get a regular apartment. I got kind of lucky with my apartment. There's only 3 of us, so it's pretty cool. But it's an apartment in a apartment building, and you're spread out. So you'll have like 3 or 4 people here, and then 2 blocks down or somewhere else, you'll have other people. So you're not all together. And we didn't have any television or internet. We had a telephone, but basically they kept the internet at the center, so you're not on the internet. Because if you go to a foreign country, and you're probably on Facebook the whole time, or something like that. And we were at the center, but it was a way to get us out of the house. It was really good.
Cool. All right. And what stereotypes did you feel toward Greeks like before you got there? Like, did you have anything like in your mind before you got there about how Greeks would be? Well,
my dad is from Greece, so and I've grown up in the Greek culture.
Oh, okay. So you didn't really have any stereotypes?
I did. It's kind of funny, but you know, because my dad, like, he puts garlic in all his food. He owns restaurants and stuff, but he puts garlic in everything. I found out that Greeks do not put garlic in everything, and they're not all as mean and
Was it like My Big Fat Greek Wedding at all?
In some cases, yeah. But, in a lot of cases, when you first get to Greece, if you're not accustomed to the people, a lot of people said they didn't seem that friendly right away. But this is an Athens. You gotta remember this. It's the equivalent of New York City for Greece, and if you can relate our location in South Carolina to New York, the friendliness factor. Northern Greeks are a little bit more friendly, like in Thessaloniki. They're a lot more friendly than Athenians, but typically if you're riding a bus or a metro, which is the subway there, which is really nice, it's all brand new. People are quiet, they keep themselves, you know. And when you're standing in line, like a couple little things, like if you stand in line, like the personal distance, it's a lot less. So if you're standing from me to you in line, like at a McDonald's or wherever, somebody will probably get in front of you.
Oh, yeah?
Because they don't think you're standing in line.
Wow.
Was it uncomfortable, like, to get used to it, or not?
Initially, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, it is. They smoke a lot, like in bars, clubs. Plan on washing their clothes after you leave. So, but there are a lot of little things. They're very friendly when you get to know them. Towards Americans, I would assume a lot of the younger people are not as friendly because our foreign policy, and it affects them a little bit more than we realized. The connection with Turkey and Greece, their conflicts and the role that America has played, and they kind of take that out on people that come. But a lot of the older people are really friendly towards Greeks.
Okay, that's interesting.
Following World War II with the, what was it, there's still a lot of supplies like milk and food and a lot of things like that. I can't remember the name of it. Anyways, but they're very friendly, and they realize the growing pains of America, but in a lot of cases, like I almost got in a fist fight. I mean, I was drunk, but I'm walking through TV, which is a really nice part of Athens, a lot of clubs and stuff, and I'm speaking English with my friends, and this big tall guy elbows me in the side, you know? And it's like,
Just because you're speaking English?
yeah, he's like, he was drunk too, and he's like, you know, you American, da 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 da, and I was like, I started talking to him in Greek. I was like, hang on, buddy, all right, don't take it out on me. But you know, anyways, anything else about what was the initial question? I'm sorry.
Just did you have any stereotypes before you got there about Greeks? How about how they'd be?
Yeah, but like I said, my dad's friends are all Greeks, so but I never realized how. Because a lot of the cultural things aren't carried over when you come here.
Yeah.
You're just still in America. But when you go there, like I said, the way you stand in line, to how you greet people, if you speak to people, it's very similar to, not just in the but like let's say Japanese culture. There's big regard for seniority. So.
Was your dad a first-generation American? Like, did he
No,
come?
He was born in Greece in 1947.
Oh, okay.
And he came to America in 1976. Went back, came back here in 1982 or 81, and he lived in Canada for a while. Lived here, lived in England, traveled a lot. Yeah, did all kinds of stuff.
And how about did you hear about any kinds of stereotypes that Greeks had about Americans or about you? What were they?
The biggest thing that you just don't want to stand out. Because I mean, imagine if Americans have a big tendency to go there and they think it's you're on vacation like in Fort Lauderdale or something. Like this is where these people live, and you should respect that. So people go and wear their baseball caps and they're loud and don't care about the rules. And it's not a big deal. They don't step out of line that much, but I mean, if you can imagine Canadians or Mexicans or whatever coming here and acting crazy, I mean, you might get a little pissy sometimes.
Yeah.
So, like, for instance, one time we went out and, like in the clubs and stuff, they dance and stuff, but it's not like crazy. And the girls in our group like to get, and they got drunk, they would dance pretty nuts. And she bumped into a girl or something, she tripped or something, and a Greek girl went off on her, like, Americans should come here, you go nuts, you have no regard for us or custom thing. And she started cussing at her in Greek, and we were like, me and my other buddy, Seraphim, he's a Greek kid. We're like, hang on. So we had, just little stuff like that, but
we've heard that from like people from other countries too. Like, Americans are loud and like boisterous and stuff.
Yeah.
But you know what? The worst people I ever met in my life are the most inconsiderate people. Are Italian teenagers.
Really?
I mean, at the Parthenon, I took a class, a really cool class. You're on different ancient sites in Athens, and you have class on the site. It's really cool. Anyways, like, it was like a group of Italian kids, and like in the museum, like running around, like. The Greek ladies, like, that work there, like, they yell at us Americans, like, don't touch us, don't do that, don't take pictures. Like, the Italian kids are running around in here, and, they're nuts. I mean, they're at the bottom of the Parthenon, and all the kids are smoking cigarettes, the professor's lecturing to them, and the professor's got a cigarette behind his back. So it's kind of skewed just because we're Americans. Sometimes she gets a bad of the stick.
Yeah. Well, how about, what did you do in your free time, like for leisure time?
Typically, I like to travel as much as possible. At Arcadia, we had 2 spring breaks. I wouldn't, I guess, they're not exactly spring breaks. We have Fridays off always. So you had a 3-day weekend all the time. But their spring break considered, they gave you, I think, Tuesday and Wednesday off, or Wednesday. So the first one, I went to Italy, and hang on, I'm trying to think. No, the first one I went to Italy and Barcelona, Spain. Italy and Barcelona. But I lost, like, my tickets got mixed matched. Listen, if you ever ordered tickets online, make sure that they go to the mailing address and not where the credit card is.
Oh no, they came to the U.S.?
My plane tickets ended up in Rhode Island, and I had to buy another plane ticket. So I was going to fly straight to Barcelona with my friend, but we traveled there. The next one, my friend came from Spain. We went to the Greek islands, which is very, very easy. Typically, the Greeks and a lot of Europeans, they don't start vacation until July and August, maybe June.
Because of weather, or just?
I mean, they have holidays. Like the whole month of August is basically holiday for Greeks. Everybody goes to the beach and everything. So the prices are really cheap in April. And like, we went to Santorini, we went on a cliff. It was like they dug out the wall, and they put your room inside like the cliff. It's really cool. I mean, the sunset was amazing. But for 4 of us, it was 92 euros.
Oh my gosh.
And then I went back in June with my mother, and it was 380 euros a night for the same room. So
April's the time to go?
Well, if you want to go to the islands and you know you're going to stay for the summer, or it's something you might want to take into account, like whenever you decide to go. I would definitely suggest not going during the summer, like taking a summer program.
Was the weather still warm in April?
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, the water's cold, but you know, rent four-wheelers or mopeds or whatever, and you get around the islands. But you can take ferries, and you can get like regular ferries, which I don't suggest doing. You get on the high-speed ferries, they're catamarans. They get you there in half the time, but they cost twice as much. But it's not that much. It's like from Piraeus, which is the port town right beside Athens, and you can't distinguish the difference between the two. Only that Piraeus is a lot dirtier. But they run into each other. So you would leave at Piraeus, and then you would go wherever you wanted to go. But you can get these high-speed boats, and they're very convenient, very nice. They're great. It's like flying. I mean, it's so smooth. The boat isn't moving. But that's probably the easiest way to get around. We rented cars as well. We drove up to one of the girls in the program. She's from Bolos, which is a little further north. We went there, and then another time we rented a car and we just drove around. We initially were going to go for the weekend. We were going to go to a small island, just right off the bat. And then the port workers were all on strike, so we rented the car spontaneously and just drove around. Didn't know where we were going, just drive around.
Could your American license work there?
Oh,
okay.
If you have an American license, it works great. Especially if you're from New York, apparently, they have no hesitation renting you a car. Like, oh, you drive in New York.
Oh, wow.
But, no, you do have to give them your passport and all that stuff, information. But it's very safe. You can shop online. I definitely suggest doing that. We could rent a car for about 40 euros a day. You just get a little car, and that's it. Another time, we took the entire Study Abroad group, which was 26 people. We rented two minivans, or minibuses. They sat like 15 each. And like a big red one and a big white one. We were driving to a port because we were going to go for Carnival to a little island, trying to get like more of a, I guess, realistic feel, like how people really do it. Because a lot of people leave Athens, and the main place to go for Carnival in Greece is Patra, which is on the Peloponnese on the northwestern corner. But if you go there, I would definitely suggest making plans ahead of time because the traffic is ridiculous. It'll take you typically about 6 hours to get there. It'll take you anywhere from 12 to 14 if you don't plan ahead. So if you're going for Carnival, plan ahead. Another thing, planning on traveling, is Easter in the spring. Easter is huge. It's phenomenal, like enormous.
That's what our research was saying, that like Easter is more of a big deal there than Christmas.
Yeah, Christmas. Christmas is nice, but Easter is the way to go. I mean, a lot of good food, especially my aunt. She would cook for us all the time. I quit going to my aunt's house because she would cook so much food. I mean, I couldn't eat anymore. She'd eat more and more and more. You'll gain a lot if you go. You'll gain weight. Put it that way, because you'll find different places where you can eat cheap, and the food is awesome. But for Easter, plan ahead. I would definitely like to suggest if you go in January, make your plans as soon as you can. Talk to some of the professors, and they're very willing to help you. They're willing to help you. Yeah. Anyway, so. But it's great. I mean, you'll be in the church and they start setting off fireworks. And as soon as the priest says Christ is risen, and these fireworks aren't like little firecrackers, they're big guys, they're scary. It sounds like a bomb's going off. Anyways.
That's cool.
Next.
How about the nightlife? What kind of
the nightlife?
things do you do at night?
A lot of places in Athens, especially I'll start out with the islands. If you go to the islands during a busy time, they all have pubs. Mykonos is the most renowned, but there are other ones other than Mykonos that you can go to. Some of the northern islands, so you don't have to go just to Mykonos. But Mykonos is very expensive, very, very expensive. But they have traditional clubs where you think you go and it's like techno music, house music, bumping. And it sounds kind of like techno music, but it's really cool. I like it because I never grew up with techno. I don't like it. I listen to like Allman Brothers. But they're like 80 songs redone with like house beats, and like there are a lot of them American songs so you can sing along.
That sounds awesome.
But there you'll find the big clubs like and even on the islands, they'll have things that are cafes, somewhere a Starbucks, and the doors and everything will open up for when it's really nice. Like the windows, they can move the whole windows. But the cafes during the day, you can order some small food and stuff, but they have a bar and you can order drinks as well. But in the evening, a lot of these places turn into just a bar. You'll have like house music and lights, kind of turn into a little club. In Athens, same thing. If you go, our favorite place was CD, right by the Acropolis. It's pretty cool. You stumble out after dancing, and you're all liquored up, and you look up and you see the Acropolis, and the Parthenon, the lights are on it, and you're like, wow, I'm in Greece. It's pretty cool. But then there's a place in Western Athens too. It's called Blue, but it's pretty big. It's pretty cool. It's a lot different. Like there's a huge square. I mean, it's probably the size of half a football field, maybe a whole football field. But it's a huge square, and then it's surrounded by clubs.
Oh wow!
And I mean, like you can go to the traditional clubs, like I said, or you can go to these cafe club things. But our favorite place, we had a little bar right by our center of the school, underneath one of the apartments. I don't even know what the name of it was. We just knew the guy. His name was Mario, so we'd always go there. And they had music and stuff, but that wasn't our favorite place. But we'd go there on. But the favorite place was called Ciudadadico. It's the blacksmith. We called it Blue Bar because the lights are blue. But the place was great. I mean, and when you go out, I mean, first thing is when you go and eat, you eat late. You'll become accustomed to it. You don't eat at 6 o'clock, you eat like 9 at the earliest. I mean, it's typical. We take a lot of people from the group, and we would go have dinner from 9:30, 10 o'clock until 12.
Oh wow!
And then we would, I mean, you sit, and if you get to know the guys, they'll treat you really good. Like bring you free shots, free desserts.
Oh wow!
We didn't even know the name of this one place. Just had an Amstel sign outside. We called it Amstel. But they had live music and stuff. Young Greek guys playing. It's cool.
Now, is
really
Greece, is that where tapas are known for? Or is that
Tapas?
like the small appetizers with wine? Or is that not Greece?
They have some in Greece, but they're more prevalent in Spain.
Oh, in Spain? Okay, I didn't know what culture that was.
But, no, but the clubs, you go out midnight, 1 o'clock, and then they last until... It depends, but I mean, they can last from like 5 in the morning to like 8 in the morning.
Oh wow!
Oh my god!
So it's a very late night club scene.
Yeah. So I mean, you don't need. You have to take into account when people eat dinner.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, if you got a belly full of food, you don't want to go drink and dance. But there are a lot of good places on the coast. There's a place called the Fava. They have a lot of cafes. And when it's warm, there's a place called Acroteria. It's actually where I went for my 21st birthday.
Oh, yeah?
But it's built like right on a cliff, and they have like laser beams that shoot into the water.
Oh, wow.
And it's like really shallow. It's beautiful.
Oh,
and they have like a swimming pool thing, a bridge that goes over. It's really cool. But that's whenever it's warm. And a lot of clubs in Athens, like they have clubs in CD. That's for like the winter when it's cooler. And then whenever it gets warmer, they all move to the Fava Neo Falido. Right outside. But nightlife is great. I would suggest getting out and seeing as many places as you can. We'll get used to going to Blue Bar. We'll just go to Blue Bar. But there are a lot of great places there. There's a place called Mike's Irish Bar. All Americans get in free. Yeah.
That's really funny.
Yeah. If you're American, you get in free. So, and we would sing karaoke. So if you want to get back in touch with your American side, there's always Mike's Irish Bar.
Wow, nice. All right.